hand it over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and Mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Tonight, we've got one last present under the tree, our final Monday Nighter of the year, between the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys. Dan Bailey now to put the ball in the air, and off we go to wrap up the week on a Monday night. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. They go play action here on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. 5 yards on the pickup, and it's a second down. And on this offensive unit, one guy that's proven himself early in the NFL is Eric Ebron.
A very reliable target for a quarterback. They always love tight ends because they're right in their sight lines. If you get it to this guy, though, he can take it the distance.
To throw on second down is Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
Stafford gives to Abdullah on the draw. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game. I spy a couple of extra defensive backs on the field for Dallas.
Cowboys in the dime on third. Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he connects with Ebron. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 24 yards. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
On first down, Abdullah. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Again, it's Abdullah. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a third down. So the Lions go backwards there, and unfortunately that's something they saw a lot in 2015. They had the fewest rushing yards of any team in the NFL.
And it's one of those dubious titles that no one really wants to claim. Even teams who say, well, worry about running it because we throw it all the time. Being able to run it when you want to is a key to success in the NFL, and Detroit struggled doing that.
Stafford And that is incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And now it's 4th down. Now the 4th-year punter from Appalachian State, that's Sam Martin, on to kick. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. They run with a rookie. Here's Elliott. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Three yards to go on 2nd down. They go to Elliott again. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
First down carry by Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 24 yards. So good for the Buckeyes last year, and he's taken that from the college game, showing some glimpses of it here in the NFL.
How about his last season with Ohio State? Over 1,800 yards. Only one game where he didn't get over 100. Remember, he demanded the ball from then on out. I think they listened to him, and they were smart to do so.
And now they're giving it to him here on the next level. On 1st and 10, Romo. Now Romo hit, and he loses the football. He had it jarred out.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So after nearly turning it over, new life here for the offense on 2nd down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
But it looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Romo. Got a man, it's right. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Get ready.
On second down, Elliott. Touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it. Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
On first down, Stafford here. And that's going to be incomplete. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Offense needs 11. Have to think pass here on 3rd down. Throwing again is Stafford. He sets to fire deep. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
This is Elliott, and he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. On 2nd down, here's Romo. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
Now Tony Romo on 1st down. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. That's connection numero uno, Tony Romo going to Desmond DeMond Bryant.
And how about the chemistry those two have built up over the years? You know, everybody always sees Dez as being so demonstrative on the sidelines, like he's upset about things. He just wants his quarterback to know he wants the ball, and he's going to make plays for him.
Romo gives to Elliott, and he's able to get this one down to about the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Another carry for the rookie Elliott. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I don't want to downplay the run, but that's exactly what I expected out of him coming out of college. When I look back at my draft analysis, one of the highest-rated players on my board, a 3-down back who can do everything. And one of the best parts of his game is what he does when he doesn't have the football, because he carries it really well, but he blocks equally as well as pass protects for his quarterback. I think he's going to be special.
On first down, Romo. Out left side here to Bryant. And he's brought down after a good gain. Give him 22 on that one. And the Cowboys are set up now with a 1st and goal.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Now a play fake here on first down. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dez Bryant, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Cowboys are in for 6.
All drives that result in points hurt a defense, but when they are the sustained variety, play after play, and they just can't get off the field and stop them, that can be demoralizing.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
On second down, here's Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you go lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one. Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. Here's Stafford now on second down. On the grab, it's Reuben Randall. And he's brought down. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal.
So a pause here for us as well. Time to pay some bills. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12. Play fake to Abdullah. It's Stafford. He's got time. He's going to sling this deep downfield. He was looking there for Reuben Randall, and it's 3rd down.
You can feel the anguish all the way up here. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to it.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He's got time in the pocket. Then Tate's got it. And he's brought down after a good gain. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the first-rounder, Darren Lee. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Ten yards still left on 2nd down. One man in the backfield, Elliott. 2nd and 10. Romo once more. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 1st and 10, Romo. Out left side here to Bryant. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 19. And that leads to a Dallas first down. And quickly they get to the line. Now it's Romo. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. From the 50, it's Romo. Complete to Bryant. It goes as a pickup of 23. And it'll be a Dallas first down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. Now a first down throw. Romo. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dez Bryant, his second TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. And Detroit getting set to go now. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. They go back to the air here after the INT. Over the middle, complete to Tate. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now a first down throw. Stafford into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the great one, Darrelle Revis. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
After the interception, here's Romo. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Under, over 59.
The final shot before the break. Romo surveying the field. He's going to let it go again. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. A nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick.
And this will be caught at the 30. It's a big play. Romo to Bryant. 48 yards.
While it may seem like an every-game occurrence, let's not treat it that way. Tony Romo's had some injury issues, right? He's starting to advance in years. To watch what he and Dez Bryant did in this game, yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, when they do that, they're hard to stop.
Yeah, they really are. Lots of connections, which means big-time offense, which usually leads to victory for their team.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3, those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you described that, because if they control things up front, often it's over the guard. Sometimes they slide and make it over the center. It's really hard to get a play started then, because a lot of teams want to start inside out running the football. But against a good 4-3, you may not find any space. And on that play, there was zero space, no gain. Old school defensive tackle play dictated just stood up and danced with the guy in front of you. And if a guy came near, tackle him. New school, you don't want to just dance. You want to get past him, get upfield, and make the play in the backfield. A big-time play there.
Single, slap. You're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Third and long here. It's Romo. Out left side here to Bryant. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping them from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense, finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. To throw is Stafford. Escaping the... Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And on 2nd and 10 now. One man on the backfield, Elliott. He'll get it running right. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing on 3rd down, Romo. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Second down following the run. From the end zone, Stafford to the right side to Eric Ebron. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
They'll come out in the pistol. Now Stafford hands to Abdullah. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way.
It's brought in left side by Tate. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. Now it's Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. So they will go for it. Stafford. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Jeff Heath. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Glover Quinn there on the stop.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Now Romo. And that is incomplete. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver, and it's 4th down.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They start the drive with Abdullah. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? when the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here's Stafford now on second down. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what
Put
you
your
do
foot on
best.
the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. And a long way to go for the offense here on second down. They come out here in the eye.
59, under. Nice.
Here's Romo now on second down. Going up top. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Des Bryant with touchdown number 3 here in this game and 17 now on the year. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. 13 yards there on the pickup, and the Lions are going to have a first. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Stafford on first down. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 17 that time. And it's good enough for a Detroit first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Amir Abdullah, the intended target. And that'll bring up second down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Complete to Jones. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a gain of 7, and they're going to have a third down. Three yards left to grab here on third down.
Tie right. You got three down. Set.
Stafford on third down. And this is going to be incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. Now fourth down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down.
Hey. You got three.
Desperation time for Stafford on fourth down. And it is incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Again, it's Elliott. And he's got room. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. They come out here in the eye. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Time running out here on the play clock. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
Romo hands to Elliott. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Play clock winding down. So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. A give to Elliott. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They come out here in the eye. Not enough sense of urgency there. Play clock hits 0, 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, I like your point there. Not enough sense of urgency. People walking up to the line of scrimmage, you've got to get up there and get set and be ready to go.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Give him a couple on the run there. It'll be 2nd and 13.
Like any team, they would have loved to have had more yards on that run, but it looks like they just want to get to the 2-minute warning and see what they want to do after that.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. 2nd down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13.
52. 59.
The give is to Elliott. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this play gets blown up. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So out now come the Lions. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A gain of 32 that time. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
In most pass defenses, the guy playing safety has the ability to roam free and try and go to the football. But when you're a man, you've got to cover just like the guy playing out on the corner. Lock up on the receiver and go to the football. That's exactly what he did, batting that one away.
Throwing is Stafford. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Defending an out route is awfully difficult because the best receivers try and sell an inside move before they break to the out, and you have to respect that as a defensive guy because if you let them, what they say, cross your face or get across you in the middle of the field, usually you're beaten on a route, and that's an easier throw for the quarterback. So you ordinarily take a step over to make sure you seal that off. In this case, he was able to not only do that, but react back to the sideline and bat the ball down.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about